Hello, I'm Joe the Slot Dog. This is part 2 of now changing your batteries, clearing, and setting up a family 14 or a G20 cabinet. Here's what you see, but it can be done in a trimline cabinet, a G23 cabinet. They're all very similar with just subtle differences. So we ended on the last video, which you should be here. You should have your cover back on. Your batteries are now been changed out, and you're ready to reinstall your CPU back in your machine. So the first thing you want to do, on the side here, this is a little pro tip for you. There's a big filter housing on the inside of there. You want to remove all of that, really, if you can. It gets dirty, it gets clogged up. These CPUs overheat and they stop working right because this big fan here pulls air through the CPU and it gets it from here. And if your filter and everything is clogged here, you're not getting adequate airflow in here, and you're getting it hot, you're wondering why it's rebooting, and that's a problem. So we just completely remove all that to make sure there's good airflow through the game. So now to install this back in, this little pin is the only thing that really locks it in. It stays on these tracks and it slides in. So what, again, you want to watch just like in the first part, just make sure that there's no wires you're pulling back with it on accident. So we want to grab this, line it up on the bottom, and then just kind of get everything out of the way. That pin will lock itself in. That's how you know you're in. You're installed at this point. So now you can go ahead and plug everything back in. I kind of like to organize them a little bit, see where they go. And just like talked about before, it's really hard to have any of these backwards. The only one you could actually put in backwards is the monitor cable if it had a external video card like the 625, some of the boards do, which is like this here. They should be always VGA and DVI. But again, if you don't, this is the lower monitor, that's the upper monitor. Just kind of getting these snugged up a little bit here. You don't have to be like, I'm gonna break it tight. You just kind of get them to the point where they stop. This is your audio cable. This could go into 3 holes. It always goes in the green. USB port is the communication to the backplane. Can go in either one. And then your ribbon cable is your communication. This has a little notch on it. You see that little notch right there? The notch has to go on the left side. So make sure your notch. Take your time with this little cable. They're kind of easy to break if you don't line it up. And then those two lock down on it. Okay, so your diagnostics and your key chip, which is these little USB sticks, they both have to be in the computer board, and the computer board has to be open. So these slots here, well, I take that back. Just your key 7 has to be in there. Technically, your diagnostics can go anywhere. So at this point, you're ready to turn on your game. Everything is good to go. So it's going to go through this for a little bit longer, and then the diagnostics page will come on. So you got time now. Go like and subscribe to our page. go check out our website or contact us with any questions or any videos that you have or want us to make. Just send me a picture of kind of what you're dealing with, and I'll see if it's something we're capable of doing for you. She won't be long here from now. Okay, so this is your diagnostics page. So now the upper right corner where it says non-volatile storage, you want to touch that. Very, very, very important here that you pay attention to what you're wiping. Do not wipe your hard drive unless you want to completely start from scratch. So if you have like an issue and you have your dongles for your game, then yeah, that's one way. But just wiping the top two will save that information. You really only need to get rid of the memory up there anyways. You don't really need to wipe your hard drive at this point. So just these two, hit wipe, continue. Okay, so you see how it says selected components have been cleared. It will error out at this point. It will say there was a problem if it could not clear your safe storage or your memory. So make sure it does. I've done that a bunch of times and scratched my head of what's going on, and I had a problem with my PCI card and didn't see it literally right here. Also where it says jumper inserted, so that little switch on the board has to be facing up. If it's down and you try to go through this part, it could actually give you an error here as well. So you go to OK. You're going to pull out your diagnostics chip at this point, and it's going to ask you to OK to cycle the power. So at this point, this will be the end of our part 2 video. So when I hit OK, which I'll do right here to show you, it's going to start booting, and then we're going to pretty much start when it fully boots, because it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to completely boot. So we're going to hit OK, diagnostics out. We're going to let it go through its reboot, and this will be the end of the diagnostics menu, and then the part 3 is going to be actually clearing and setting up the game. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.